Fifth canto, 20th chapter. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Atha Param Plakshadinam Pramana Lakshana Samsthanato Varsha Vibhaga Upavarnayate. The great sage Sukadev Goswami said, hereafter I shall describe the dimensions, the characteristics, and the forms of the six islands, beginning with the island of Plaksha. Text 2. Jambudvipoyam yavat pramana starat tavata sharodadhin परिवेष्टितो यथमेरु जम्बू आख्येन लवानुदधीर अपि ततो द्विगुणा विशालेन प्लाक्षाख्येन परिक्षिप्तो यथा परिख बाह्योपावनेन प्लाक्षो जम्बू प्रमाण द्वीपाख्या करो हिरण्मय उत्थितो यात्राग्नि उपस्थित सप्तजिह्वा तस्याधिपति प्रिय व्रतात्मज इदमजीव स्वाम द्वीपं सप्तवर्षनि विभाजय सप्तवर्ष नामाभ्य आत्मजेभ्य अकलव्य स्वयं आत्म योगेनो पररामा. As Sumeru mountain is surrounded by Jambudvip, Jambudvip is also surrounded by an ocean of salt water. The breadth of Jambudvip is 100 yojanas, 800 miles, 800,000 miles, sorry. 100,000 yojanas, 800,000 miles. One yojana is 8 miles. And the width of the saltwater ocean is the same, 800,000 miles. As a moat around a fort is sometimes surrounded by a garden-like forest. Moat is the water body around the fort. The salt water ocean surrounding Jambudvip is itself surrounded by Plakshadvip. The breadth of Plakshadvip is twice that of the saltwater ocean. So in other words, it is 200 yojanas, 1,600,000 miles. On Plakshadvip, there is a tree shining like and as tall as the Jambu tree and the Jambudvip. At its root is a fire with 7 flames. It is because of this tree, it is because this tree is a Plaksha tree that the island is called Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep was governed by Idmajiva, one of the sons of Maharaj Griva. He endowed the 7 islands with the names of his 7 sons, divided the islands among his sons, and then retired from active life to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. The Bhuloka, got divided into 7 parts, which are called the 7 islands, because of the holes or the trenches which were made by the wheels of the chariot of Priyavrat Maharaj. So the hollow became because of the wheels of the chariot of Priyavrat Maharaj. Priyavrat Maharaj is a great Mahabhagavad ruler, and so because of that he got these holes, and in that salt water, and so different they became oceans. One is salt water, the next one will be there is milk, there is liquor. So there are oceans, 6 oceans dividing into 7 islands. 7 islands. Its isometric projection looks like a disk, where innermost is the Jambudweep, the salt water, and Lakshadweep, and about the remaining we'll get to know. So Salmani Dweep, there is so it's like concentric circles. That is its projection. That's not its actual geometry. The actual geometry will be higher dimensional, but its projection is like a disk, isometric projection. Like we do na top view, front view. No, this is a top view. That's like a disk. That's like a disk. So these 7 islands Maharaj Priyavrat gave to his 7 sons. 7 sons. And then he retired from active life to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. That means he took one person. Let us read further. Shivam Javasam Subhadram Shantam Shemam Amritam Abhayam Iti Varashaniteshu Girayunaticha Saptaiva Janataha Manikoto Vajrakota Indraseno Jyotishpan Suparno Hiranyas Meghamala Iti Setushaila Aruna Nrimnam Girase Savitri Suptabhat Ritambhat Satyambhar Iti Mahanatya Yasha Jalo Pashparsana Vidahuta Rajastamaso Hamsa Patangordhavayana Satyanga Samashnas Chatvaro Varna Sahasrayusho Vibhudo Sudarshana Prajanana Swargadwar Traya Vidvaya Bhagavantam Timayam Surya Atmanam Yajante. So this is prose. Therefore, it's difficult to put it into rhythm. But we can just hear its transcendental words, no? The Uttama Shloka Maha Bhagavatam verses were very purifying. Let's see the translation for further understanding. Okay, so share screen now. The 7 islands, Varshas, are named according to the names of those 7 sons. Shiva, Yavasha, Subhadra, Shanta, Shema, Amrita, Abhaya. In those seven tracts of land, there are seven mountains and seven rivers. The mountains are named Manikuta, Vajrakuta, Indrasena, Jyotishman, Suparna, Hiranyastiva, Meghamala. And the rivers are named Aruna, Nimna, Angirase, Savitri, Subhata, Ritambhara, Satyambhara. One can immediately be free from material contamination by touching or bathing in those rivers. And the four castes of people who live in Lakshadweep, they are the Hamsas, the Patangas, the Urdhva Vayanas, and the Satyangas. They purify themselves. The inhabitants of Lakshadweep live for 1,000 years. Their life is 1,000 years. They're beautiful like the demigods. They also beget children like the demigods. By completely performing the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas and by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead as represented by the Sun God, they attain the sun, which is a heavenly planet. But according to general understanding, there are originally three deities: Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. And people with a poor fund of knowledge consider Lord Vishnu no better than Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. The conclusion, however, is invalid, as stated in the Vedas. Ishtapurtam Bahuda Jayamanam Vishwam Vivatti Bhuvanasya Nabhi Tad Evagni Tadavayu Sat Surya Satyu Chandramaha Agni Sarvadaivataha. This means that the Supreme Lord, who accepts and enjoys the results of the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, technically called Ishtapurta, who maintains the entire creation, who supplies the necessities of all the living entities, Eka Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kama, and who is the central point of all creation, is Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu expands as the demigods, known as Agni, Vayu, Surya, Chandra, who are simply parts and parcels of his body. And Lord Krishna explains, says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9:20, Yepi anyadevata bhuti yajante shraddhayanvita tepi maam eva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvaka. Devotees who worship the demigods with firm faith worship me also, but not according to the regulative principles. In other words, if one worships the demigods but does not understand the relationship between the demigods and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then his worship is irregular. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita 9:24, Aham sarvayajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. I am the only enjoyer of the ritualistic ceremonies. It may be argued that the demigods are as important as Lord Vishnu because the names of the demigods are different names of Vishnu. This, however, is not a sound conclusion, for it is contradicted in the Vedic literatures. The Vedas declare, Chandrama manasajata chaksho suryo ajayata श्रोत्रदयस्य प्राणस्य मुखाद् अग्निराजायत नारायणात् ब्रह्म नारायणात् विप्रो जायते नारायणात् प्रजापति जायते नारायणात् इन्द्रो जायते नारायणादष्ट वसवो जायन्ते नारायणात् एकादश रुद्र जायन्ते. The demigod of the moon, Chandra, came from the mind of Narayana, and the sun god came from the eyes of Narayana. The controlling deities of hearing and the life air also came from Narayana. The controlling deity of fire generated from his mouth. Prajapati, Lord Brahma came from Narayana, Indra came from Narayana, the eight Vasus, 11 expansions of Lord Shiva, and the 12 Adityas also came from Narayana. Hari Bo, in the Smriti
Source of
Vedic literature, it is also said, Brahma Shambhu Tathaiva Swarga Chandramascha Satakratu Evam Adhyas Tathaiva युक्त वैष्णव तेजसा जगत्कार्यवसने तु वियुज्यन्ते च तेजसा वितेजश्च ते सर्वे पञ्चात्मम् उपयान्ति ते ब्रह्म शंभु सूर्य and Indra are merely products of the power of the Supreme Personality of God. This is also true of the many other demigods whose names are not mentioned here. When the cosmic manifestation is annihilated, these different expansions of Narayana's potencies will merge into Narayana. In other words, the demigods will die, their living force will be withdrawn, and they will merge into Narayana. Therefore, it should be concluded that Lord Vishnu, not Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Supreme Personality of God. As a government officer is sometimes accepted as the entire government. Although he is actually but a departmental manager. So the demigods, having achieved power of attorney from Vishnu, act on his behalf, although they are not as powerful as he. All the demigods must work under the orders of Vishnu. Therefore it said, Ekale Ishvara Krishna, or Sababhritya, the only master is Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, and all others are his obedient servants, who act exactly according to his orders. The distinction between Lord Vishnu and the demigods is also expressed in Bhagavad Gita 9:25. Yanti deva vrata deva, Shvikranyanti Shvikravata, Bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mat yachinupima. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, whereas the worshippers of Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu go to the planets in Vaikuntha. These are the statements of the Smriti. Therefore, the idea that Lord Vishnu is on the same level as the demigods is in contradiction to the Shastras. The demigods are not supreme. The supremacy of the demigods is dependent on the mercy of Lord Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna. Very beautiful. When we are hearing the description of these higher planets, one thing we can very amusingly observe that you see when Krishna provides opulences, then it is so easy and so naturally. But when we try to squeeze out opulences artificially, strenuously, it is very miserably extracted, and what we get is also very troublesome. That also for such a freak of. Why people don't surrender to Krishna? Whatever people want, Krishna can provide that in the superlative. Many times people want to live long. So if one is just taking shelter of Krishna, one wants to live longer. Krishna will give a life in Lakshadweep. You can live 1,000 years. The life in Lakshadweep is 1,000 years. Many times people want a very beautiful body, huh? Very beautiful body, but doesn't get diseased also. Krishna can put very easily one in Lakshadweep. It's just the next week after Jambudweep. Our earth is one part Jambudweep. One part of Bharatvarsha. Bharatvarsha is one of the 9 tracts in the Jambudweep. Of Lakshadweep is the next island. It's double the diameter. Double the diameter. The area is much more. The diameter is double. What is the area? 5 r square, no? 5 r square. The area is square. 4 times. It's double in 9. Very powerful. So Krishna can give birth very naturally. They are demigods. They have powers. Very naturally, they have 1,000 years of life. And the children also become demigods. Earthly planets not like that. Earthly planet, all kinds of discrepancies take place. Sometimes, not sometimes, good number of times. Father, mother are devotees. Son becomes a demon. Yeah. Sometimes you've seen in your own family. Sometimes father, mother very humble. The son is a rascal. No. Huh? Or all different kinds of permutations, combinations, random, out of control permutations, combinations we can see in this world. But that's not the case. Lakshadweep, the demigods, they're very pious. The children become demigods also, very pious. No demon is born. So you see, if Krishna wants to give opulences, very easily Krishna can. So why don't we take shelter of Krishna? That's why even if one is a materialist, he should sincerely take shelter of Krishna. Because Krishna can give material opulence, we cannot even imagine. And here we are fighting. Here people keep struggling how to increase their life by 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, 4 months, 2 months, how to increase the life. Krishna can naturally give a 900 percent top up. It's a 100 years, he can make it 1,000 years. It's okay, take it, enjoy. But interesting to see, are they enjoying? Are they stooping such gratification? Not at all. They're all subservient to the Supreme Lord. They're worshipping the Supreme Lord. So why? Because they know that this power has come from the blessing. See, a devotee is not illusion. A devotee knows reality, so they know that they have power, but they know that it is not their power. It has been mercifully benedicted by Krishna. Like one time, I remember Vaishampur asked us to perform a drama. So I performed a drama. There was a Pune senior camp and performed a drama. All that was very much applauded by devotees. Everybody was very, very happy about that. So I came back to temple in the camp. Many brahmacharis, everybody very much applauded us. So I was there, Divya Prabhu was there, Revati Prabhu was there. He was the devotee. I was the mind. I was the mind. Divya Prabhu was. We had done a lot of dramas together. Me and Divya Prabhu. He was my drama partner. He lost his life, I think, like an accident. He was my drama partner. He was from ITBHU. We were big friends. Sometimes I would become mind, he would become Bola Bala. Sometimes he would become mind, I would become. So we had done a lot of dramas together. And many times we used to do orchestra dramas also. Me and Divya and my drama partner. 8 years back. It was a nice. Yeah. So we did this drama. We came back. I remember Gaur Sundarpur had met us. He was the vice president that time in this our Pune, ISKCON Pune. And so he met. He said, "Oh, you're a very wonderful dramatist. And very nice drama. Very nice." So then I started telling. I folded my hands and started telling, "No, no, 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 no," like that. So he was telling very good dramatist, and then I said, "No, no, 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 no." So he was amused. He was watching, what kind of comedy I'm doing. Then when I was finished and done with all my expressions, then he said, "No, no. As a devotee, we don't have to feel. You know, we don't deny. You have some skills, some expertise. We don't deny, but we acknowledge that it is not me. It is Krishna who is. That is realism. Like somebody, so he was selling. So it was a very nice lesson for me. That I was saying, no, Prabhu, I'm good for nothing. That was my mood. No, nothing. He said, you did a good job. I said, no, nothing. I did nothing. So he said, we don't deny, we acknowledge that, okay. So, 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 so devotee is not an illusion. Devotee is not, oh, I'm just fallen, I'm so fallen, so fallen, and so fallen. If you are fallen, the devotee is able to see, oh, Krishna has given me a skill. That's why devotee is not proud. Rather, the devotee will be grateful. Krishna has given the skill to me. Let me use it in Krishna service. Let me not miss you. Like Satyajit was very intelligent. People say, oh, Prabhu, you are super brain, you're super intelligent. We said, no, I am a duffer, I am a dumb. So that is not reality. He said, no, I am a dull. Okay, I am a literate dull buffalo. Not reality. What he says, okay, whatever intelligence you are able to see is given by Krishna. It's not me. So I am trying to use it in Krishna service. That's it. Isn't it? There's a realistic. Therefore, all these devotees, Krishna has given them more, but they are not intoxicated. That's why they are getting. So that is a problem. That is a point. So Krishna wants what kind of opulence he can be. We can just count. Oh, 1,000 years of life. Actually, in the heavenly planet, there is no old age. I don't know whether Lakshadweep is like that or not, but in Swarga, it's like that. Swarga, because Lakshadweep is Bhuloka. It's not above Bhuva. Above Bhuva is Swarga. Swarga, there is no old age. Whatever time they have to live, they live like a youth. So their body is 25. Throughout life. Their life is very huge. So their one day is our 6 months. Their 100 years to live. Their 12 hours is our 6 months. Means their one day is our 1 year. So we'll pass 100 years and die. And for them only 3 months would have passed. Huge life, no? Now you can calculate their 100 years means how much. Huge life. But they don't know like that. So Lakshadweep is Homya Swarga. The Swarga at the earthly level. It's not as powerful as the Swargaloka, but it is amazing enough, as we have seen. So all these devotees are acknowledging that all these opulences are coming from Krishna, meditation on Krishna, and use these opulences in the service of Krishna. And that's why you see they are also pious. Let's read further. And Prabhupada is speaking very beautifully about demigod worship. So Prabhupada is saying, you see, Krishna is the origin of all the demigods. So the demigods are exhibiting powers. Those powers are actually coming from. These powers are limited. The demigods, there is no harm in worshipping the demigods and being subservient to the demigod, but we have to understand that these demigods they are different part and parcels of Krishna. They are different limbs of the body. Just like some person is, suppose there is an artist, the artist makes a beautiful painting. Whom do we glorify? The artist or the fingers of the artist? Artist. The same logic, the Bhagavad Gita is saying that demigods are fingers of Krishna. So the demigods are doing some not supplied to us. Whom we should be indebted to? Whose painting it is? Fingers painting or the artist painting? Artist painting. Because the finger is cut, the finger cannot. Can it? The finger is cut and then also it can draw. Have you seen? Five finger टूटे हुए, they come together and they are doing drawing, people get a heart attack seeing that. Isn't it? It's like that. So in that same way it is saying, it is avidipurvak. Avidipurvak. So if you are glorifying a finger, oh, your fingers are so nice. What is nice in the finger? The person is so nice. That's why it's saying that. Okay, we should say, okay, Krishna is so nice. Krishna is the origin. Saying that, oh, demigods are very wonderful. As I'm saying, oh, your fingers are very wonderful. Why? Because they can draw with nice. The fingers are drawing, a person is drawing. That's weird. Some people don't have fingers in the hand, they draw with the feet. Some artists are like that. What do you call it as Paralympic? Paralympic people are like that. So some of them are Paralympic artists also. They draw with their feet. Person artist or feet artist or hand artist? Person artist. Similarly, demigods are great, Krishna is great. Krishna is great. Another example by which we can understand. Sometimes we read Bhagavad Gita, one may feel that, oh, it seems to be a little harsh. No? Lord Krishna is saying, oh, they are Alpamedesa, the less intelligent. They are doing a wrong way. So why so harsh? At least they are going to demigods and all that. Another example again. Say, for example, the child says, the father always takes out money from his pocket and give money. The child understand, oh, pocket is very powerful. So father's pant is hanging, and the child puts his hand in the pocket. And suppose the mother sees him. So what will this child be called as? What do we be called as? What do we call as? Thief. Is it not? Mother will say, hey, चोर चोरी कर रहा है, नालायक, एक सिखाया है, इसी दिन के लिए पढ़ा. Is it not? Mother will be very angry. Poor lady, she is do a lot of sacrifice, teaching good sanskaras. But the person is teaching good sanskaras, but if the person is not, no? So I may say, no, I wanted money. Money comes from the pocket. No? So if you only feel that money comes from the pocket is all in all. Then whenever one finds opportunity, one tries to put the hand in the pocket to get the money. The person thinks, the mother will say, if you wanted money, big feast. Because all of your Utkarsha passouts, lot of prasad for you. One bucket for one Utkarsha passout. So such a person called a thief. Now mother will say, Arey Baba, if you wanted money, you ask the father, no? What is the point in fluffing your hand in the pocket? Is it not? So the point is, if you want money, one should ask the father, not put hand in the pocket. Is it not? Right? So in the same way, if one wants certain benefits, material or spiritual, one should go to Krishna or Krishna's pocket. Krishna. Demigods are pocket of Krishna. That's the point. Demigods are pocket of Krishna. That's why it's avidipurvaka. That's why it's avidipurvaka. That pocket को थोड़ी ले लेंगे. Is it not? So, demigods are the pocket of Krishna. Krishna can give money. We can directly ask Krishna. Krishna may give through devotee, through demigod, that is fine. But it is Krishna So that's why they're called as Avidipurvakam, less intelligent, that they cannot understand causal connections. They cannot understand the causal depths. They're here. What is this question? But when it comes to devotees, we glorify that directly and not just. Oh, the question is what? We directly glorify devotees, don't glorify Krishna. See, what we glorify in devotees is their surrender to Krishna. No, we don't glorify devotees. Oh, your nose, cut in the nose is very you know, or the curvature in your teeth is very nice. That is that we don't glorify. We glorify Prabhu. You are so humble. You are so much service attitude. So much, isn't it? So what we are glorifying is in relationship to Krishna. We don't glorify your haircut so nice, this so nice, that's so nice. We glorify relationship to Krishna. So therefore, it's not different because uh, we glorify in relationship to Krishna. The devotee service, the dedication to Krishna. That's the point. Okay, let's read further. Yes, human life is much better. Last chapter only we read. The Lakshadweep residents, they are worshipping sun god. They are going to the sun planet. There, the Suryadev may give them further training, and some of them may go high and go back to the. But it's a little longer route. In Prithvi, the earth, the Bharatvarsha of Jamagri, they have a short lifespan. There are a lot of heat. It's 110 Fahrenheit. No, 110 sounds really good. No? 110 Fahrenheit. You know? So, if you say 38 degrees, 40 degrees, 110 Fahrenheit. So, a lot of heat. So, one cannot be so much absorbed in sense gratification. The material world breaks it. Huh? Like one wants you to full on sense gratification, uninterrupted, unmotivated, unconditional sense gratification. Huh? What is the problem? Material world doesn't allow that. Material world doesn't allow that. Huh? He said, बहुत enjoy करना है अभी दिखाती है ना then she gives VIP treatment doom 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 you know issue issue uh, so that's a metal world is fortunate. So tiny puny luxuries we run after you may miss the thing. Like Gauranga Prabhu gives example. Actually, sometimes our ISKCON and devotee Sangha is like no, Sarkari hospital. The bed is creaking. Chong, no? No, one is always in anxiety comes with that. No? Like that. No? Uh, the fan is no? uh, uh, sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't move. You know? The light, sometimes it lights, sometimes it doesn't light. You know? That kind of it's a very miserable kind of place. But the medicine they are giving is true. So Gauranga was saying when sometimes association devotees respond like that, no? There will be some austerity, some simple, not like that. May not be the best of the facilities in the world. Like in our voice, we don't have AC. But we have AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami. We have. But you don't have AC. Instead of that, we have AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami. So one is satisfied with AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami, then it's well and fine. No? One is not satisfied, then what to do? So, so that's like a hospital. where no much high-fi facilities are there. But medicine is proper. Whereas material world is a very posh hospital. It's fully air conditioned. It's fully spick and span, dazzling, crystal clean. No? You can see the face on the floor. Crystal clean. No? Like that. In the hospital, there is no, half the wall size of flat screen, no? And with Dolby kind of stereo systems, no? And one can feel as if one is in a theater. No? That kind of feeling one can get. But what is the problem? Problem is the medicine is poison. Where do you go? Sometimes here in the austerity is fine.
Struggling very successfully, spoiled mother.
Yeah.
Lavish like bad family.
Yeah.
Like a lavish society. Struggling success.
Yes. So struggle is very good. Simplicity is very good. Austerity very good. It's very hard. There is some struggle. Very because if it is cold, only cold and only very cool, and that fervor to take shelter of Krishna is not. It's very cozy. That's why we don't keep sofas like this in our homes. And they say, bro, what is the problem? Why not we can keep a sit on that and chat? Only thing is that if you do a video shooting of that chanting session, it will get 1 million views. Because everybody will be sleeping with us. Within the second round, only people will start sleeping. Like it's so cozy. Huh? So we don't even keep a chair. Sometimes devotees will sit on a chair and they're sitting. No, like that. After some time, next. After some time, next. After some time, finished. No. So, cozy. So therefore, these heavenly planets are not something worth hankering for. Oh, how nice if I get 1,000-year life. Oh, how nice if I get Apsaras as my wife. So very ridiculous.
Which
Jumped up in ecstasy. I said, "Na, cracked the exam, didn't qualify."
even if the material success of matter might be because he or she had
Or they jumped up.
high buildings and high
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we are on the 19th floor. We get the 19th floor, 190 feet high. No chance of survival. Beyond 30 feet, no chance of survival. Cats can survive 90 feet. But for that, we'll have to take cat body. So heavenly planets are like that, like cat body. On one side, it has too much facility. On the other side, it has a pain point. No, it's a cat body. It is sometimes rat body, cat. Yes, because money is the best way to spoil the children. No, Narmani speaks. Today only I was giving Bhagavatam on that verse. It's 10, 10, 8. So 10, 10, 8. And the money intoxicates much more than education. What are you doing? Money is a sure shot to make a person mad. It's straightforward. Text 5. Ratnasya Vishno Rupam Yat Satyasya Brahmana Mritasya Mrityoscha Suryam Atmana Imahiti. This is the mantra by which the inhabitants of Lakshadweep worship the Supreme. Let us take shelter of the sun god, who is a reflection of Lord Vishnu, the all-expanding Supreme Personality of God, the oldest of all persons. Vishnu is the only worshipable Lord. He is the Vedas, he is the religion, and he is the origin of all auspicious and inauspicious results. Lord Vishnu is even the Supreme Lord of Death, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Mrityu Sarvaharascha. There are two kinds of activity, auspicious and inauspicious, and both are controlled by Lord Vishnu. Inauspicious activities are said to be behind the Lord Vishnu. Auspicious activities stand before him. The auspicious and the inauspicious exist throughout the entire world, and Lord Vishnu is the controller of them both. In regard to this verse, Srila Madhvacharya says, Surya Soma Agni Varish Vidhatashu Yatha Krama Lakshadidvipa Samstha Stitam Harimupasate. There are many lands, streams, mountains, and oceans throughout the creation, and everywhere the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped by his different names. Haribol. So anywhere in this in the universe we go, the Supreme Lord is being worshipped. And people are heavenly, how divinely they are worshipping, how earnestly they are worshipping. So it says here, therefore, that everywhere, Madhvacharya is saying, everywhere the Supreme Personality of God is worshipped. So only a fool denies to worship the Supreme. That is so foolish. So, Srila Veera Raghav Acharya explained this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam as follows. The original cause of the cosmic manifestation must be the oldest person and must therefore be beyond material transformation. He is the enjoyer of all the auspicious activities and is the cause of conditional life and also liberation. The demigod Surya, who is categorized as a very powerful jiva or living entity, is a representation of one of the parts of his body. We naturally are subordinate to powerful living entities, and therefore we can worship the various demigods as living entities who are powerful representatives of the Supreme Personality of God. Although the worship of the sun god is recommended in this mantra, he is worshipped not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but as his powerful representative. In the Katha Upanishad, it is said, 1.3.1, Ritam Bibanto Sukratastoke Ruham Pravishto Parame Parat Chayat Tapo Brahma Vidyo Vadanti Panchagnayo Viyecha Tri Nachiket. Oh Nachiketa, The expansions of Lord Vishnu as a tiny living entity and the super soul are both situated within the cave of the heart of the body. Having entered that cavity, the living entity resting on the chief of the life airs enjoys the results of activities, and the super soul, acting as a witness, enables him to enjoy Krishna's signature required. So why things work out in our life the way we want? Many times because Krishna is a merciful God, he generally sanctions. But if somebody is a Chhatau Badmash, then Krishna also will give special purification. Those who are well versed in knowledge of the Brahman and those householders who carefully follow the Vedic regulations say that the difference between the two is like difference between the shadow and the sun. So living entity enjoys and shall be very active. Whereas the Lord is a witness. But he enables the living entity to enjoy. Then only the living entity can enjoy. Very beautiful. And it says further in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is said, Savishwakrit Vishwaditatmayoni Jnana Kalakaru Guni Sarvavidya Pradana Kshetra Patir Gunesha Samsara Moksha Siddhi Bandhe. The Supreme Lord creates cosmic manifestation, knows every nook and corner of his creation. Although he is the cause of creation, there is no cause for his appearance. He is aware of everything. He is a super, a master of all transcendental qualities. He is the master of this cosmic manifestation. In regard to the bondage, to the conditional state of material existence, and liberation from that bondage. Similarly, in Taittiriya Upanishad, it said, Bhishasmat Vata Pavate, Bhishodeti Surya, Bhishasmat Agni Chandrascha, Tyurdhavati Panchama. It is out of fear of the Supreme that the wind is blowing. Out of fear of him that the sun regularly rises and sets. Out of fear of him, the fire acts. It is only due to fear of him that Death and Indra, the king of heaven, perform the respective duties. As described in this chapter, the inhabitants of the 5 islands, beginning with Lakshadweep, worship the sun god, moon god, fire god, air god, and Lord Brahma, respectively. Although they engage in the worship of these 5 demigods, however, they actually worship Lord Vishnu, the super soul of all the living entities, as indicated in this verse by the words Pratmasya Vishnu Rupa. Vishnu is Brahmamrita Mrityu, the supreme Brahman and the origin of everything, auspicious and inauspicious. It is situated in the heart of everyone, including all the demigods. As said in Bhagavad Gita 7:20, Kamestastir Hitagyan Prapadyante Anya Devata. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto the demigods. People who are almost blind because of lusty desires are recommended to worship the demigods, to have their material desires fulfilled. But actually, those desires are not fulfilled by the material demigods. Whatever the demigods do is done by the sanction of Lord Vishnu. People who are too lusty worship the demigods instead of worshipping Lord Vishnu. Instead of worshipping Lord Vishnu, the super soul of all the living entities. But ultimately, it's Lord Vishnu they worship because he is the super soul of all the living entities. So this mantra is very nice because they are seeing that. So we see that although they are surrendering unto the sun god, they are seeing sun god in relationship with the supreme Lord. They're not seeing him separately. So when we see these demigods in isolation from the supreme Lord, that becomes a problem. Yeah. So, but then if one is worshipping Vishnu, then it is said that why worship indirectly? Why not worship directly? Or sometimes indirectly, it's like in we see normal dealings also. Indirectly, if you want to convey some message to someone, very difficult. You convey something, the in between mediator devotee hears something, he transmits something, no? The other person hears something. Finally, the message reaches the other end completely distorted. So therefore, why not direct? And Krishna is so merciful that Krishna is giving space for direct connectivity. Uh, so everything is coming from this. See, this knowledge is very essential. That is why Lord Bhagavad Gita speaks it. Why it is essential? Because if we see an avalanche and we get enamored by it, or either bloodshot, oh wow, what an avalanche, finished. Immediately it will trapped by metal. Immediately Maya captures them. But you see an avalanche, say, oh wow, this tiny puny reflection of what I am seeing is so captivating. You know, uh, the tiny puny reflection which I'm seeing is so captivating. But this is just a mere drop, glimpse of Krishna's opulence. How much opulence Krishna will be having? Oh wow, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Like, like one lecture Radhanath Maharaj explains. The question was if you lusty when you see a young, beautiful woman or something like that, girl or something. And Radha Maharaj says you will only feel trapped and lusty when you see the beauty and then you want to enjoy. But you relate the beauty to the beauty of the Lord, then you won't feel lusty and trapped. So Radha Maharaj saying, so once see the beautiful girl, one may, then the feeling of attraction is coming, one may say, oh, this is a glimpse, millionth of a millionth fragment of Krishna's beauty. And that itself is so disturbing to me, or that itself is so much provoking to me. So one should see, one is able to see that, okay, this beauty what I'm seeing in the girl uh, is actually a glimpse of Krishna's beauty. Krishna is million times more beautiful than this. So where to focus here? The focus on Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. This is the consciousness, you won't get trapped. So the same kind of mentality. So that's why the demigod worship is very really analyzed. Why? Because we have this tendency. We have this great tendency. Yes.
Yeah. see the presentation because you just seen the flash. They're the same. We get it back to the flash. The color. The original that part and parcel of the difference.
Yeah. That we are not able to see. We are only able
We
to
are able to understand that the soul that's making the word beautiful, and for the soul we can feel us.
For the soul. Yes. So the moment you remember Krishna, there is love. We forget Krishna, there is love. And the moment you remember Krishna, then we won't be attracted by the material love. That's why, see, the demigod was a case study of that same principle. Same principle. So if you see them as reflections of the opulence of Krishna, one will not be enticed. But see them as separate, then one so then one will be bewildered and trapped. Okay, let's read further. Okay, one or two more verses with me. Yes. Lakshadishu panchaso purushanam ayu indriya ojasaho balam buddhir vikrama iti sarvesham autpatiki siddhi avasheshena vartate haribho. Okay, longevity, sensory prowess, physical and mental strength, intelligence and bravery are naturally and equally manifest in all the inhabitants of the 5 islands headed by Lakshadweep. See, from Lakshadweep to all further islands, Salmani Dweep and other islands, their names, all of them are these heavenly planets. So here it is being said that all of them, everybody is having all these powers. हमारा material earth में क्या है? Somebody is having something in extra proportion, other places like. Other places is lacking. So that's the problem. So let's read further. Lakshara swa samanani rasodena vrito yatha tatha dvipo apisal mal viguna vishala samanena surodena vritaha parivrinkte. Lakshadweep is surrounded by an ocean of sugarcane juice. See, sugarcane juice, equal in breadth to the island itself, which is 200 yojanas, 200,000 miles. So 200,000 yojanas, 1,600,000 miles. Then there is another island, small Salmani Dweep. So Laksha के बाद Salmani. This is twice as broad as Lakshadweep. देखो sugarcane juice इतना मिल रहा है. Such a big ocean of sugarcane juice. So, and then Salmali Dweep is surrounded by an equally broad body of water which is called as Surasagara, the ocean that tastes like liquor. The liquor ocean. Liquor ocean, no? You don't have to pay for it all. Yatra hi bhai Salmani Lakshyama Yasyama Vayakila Nilayama Bhagavata Chanda Sutta Patatri Rajashaya Sa Dvipa Bhutaye Upalakshate. On Salmani Dweepa, there is a Salmani tree from which the island takes its name. The tree is as broad and as tall as a Plaksha tree. In other words, the tree is 100 yojana. It is 800 miles broad. Broad. 800 miles. Now paid again. Can't imagine. And 1100 yojanas tall. 8,800 miles, not kilometers. No? So how much? 2.5 times 800 miles. One yojana is 8 miles. 1 mile is 2.5 kilometers. 1.6. 1.6. Okay, 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. So 8 miles.
How many?
Yes, 8 miles or 12 kilometers. Learned scholars say that this gigantic tree is the residence of Garuda. Haribo! Garuda Bhagan ki, the king of all birds and the carrier of Lord Vishnu. Yam namami, Yam namami. No, I should go singing. Garuda. Uh, now in that tree, Garudaji is offering Lord Vishnu is very clear. So this is so beautiful because Bhagavatam is mentioning that actually Krishna has created such a wonderful creation, but Bhagavatam doesn't waste our time. So they're saying, okay, Salman is very powerful, there is this tree, very powerful, everything. And then immediately says, okay, Garudaji is offering prayers. Mark those prayers. Don't get lost in the tree. Oh, he said, don't get lost in the tree. So Bhagavatam very nice, the Acharya is very nice. But the Acharyas engage us in this way. Very wonderful. Hmm. Yes. Yes. That's true. तद्वीपाधिपति प्रिया व्रतात्मजो यज्ञवाभुपा स्वसुतेभ्यः सप्ताभ्यस्तन्नामिने सप्तवर्षनि व्यभजात् सुरोचना सौमनस्यं रमणाकं देववर्षं परिभद्रम् आप्याययाना.
Yes.
Abhijanatamiti. Translation. The son of Maharaj Prayavar, named Yagyabahu, the master of Salmani Dweep, divided the island into 7 tracts of land, which he gave to his 7 sons. The names of those divisions, which correspond to the names of the sons of Surochana, Manasya, Ramayaka, Devavarsha, Paribhadra, Apyayana, Abhijanata. See, one may ask here why so much details have been talked about. किसका पुत्र की क्या नाम है, कहाँ से आया है? So many details are very meticulously being talked about. Now one may wonder why. The reason is, you see, when you love somebody, you want to go into details. Is it not? Then any person connected with a great person is also glorious. Is it not? That's why all these names are there. Because they're all connected to the great devotees Mahabhagavats, and they're connected to the Lord. So Krishna also reciprocates. Okay, let's read one more verse and then we'll end for today. तेषु वर्षत्रयो नाभ्यश्च सप्तैवाभिजनानतः स्वरशा शतशृङ्गो वामदेव कुण्डो मुकुन्द पुष्पवर्ष सहस्रश्रुतिरिति अनुमतिः श्रीवाली सरस्वती कुहु रजनी नंदराकेति. In those tracts of land, there are 7 mountains. Swarasa, Saptashringa, Vamadeva, Kunda Mukunda, Pushpavarsha, Sahasrashruti. There are also 7 rivers, Anumati, Srinivali, Saraswati, Kuhu, Rajani, Nanda, and Raka. They are still existing. So let's stop here for today. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, हरि बोल.
And guarantee